In the marine lab, we have many different kinds of corals growing at North Penn. There are two broad types of corals, hard and soft. Hard corals have a rigid calcium carbonate skeleton, whereas soft corals do not. Hard corals are further divided into large polyp stony (LPS) and small polyp stony (SPS) corals. A polyp is an individual animal of each coral. On this coral, each of the circular structures is a polyp. LPS corals have larger polyps and fleshy structures on the outside of their skeletons, whereas SPS corals have polyps almost too small to see. This is a LPS coral. Each tentacle circle is one polyp and it grows on its own skeletal structure. We used to have a SPS coral, but a crab pushed it into these soft corals and they excreted defensive chemicals that dissolved it. Soft corals do not have an exoskeleton and are fleshy. These are soft corals as well. These classifications are not phylogenetic or scientific, but are helpful for taking care of each coral, as the different types generally need different amounts of light and water flow. We grow new corals by fragging large ones, or breaking off a piece and letting it grow as a new coral. You can see a frag of this large pink coral growing on the wall. All of the corals we have in the lab are photosynthetic, but corals also filter feed. We feed our corals a mixture of pre-made food and live rotifers, a type of zooplankton that eats phytoplankton. In the lab, we culture phytoplankton to feed our cultures of rotifers. This is a rotifer under a microscope at 400 times magnification. When the blue light turns off, the corals stop photosynthesizing and prepare to feed. Many corals exhibit a feeding response when they eat, such as these ones. They do this to protect their polyps while they are eating and exposed. Coral is very sensitive to water quality, so there is a very complicated filtration system in this tank. We use mechanical, biological, and chemical filtration. Tap water contains chemicals that would kill the coral, so we have this filtration system for the tap water. This removes all particulates from the water and forces it through chambers that chemically purify it with anionic and cationic sections, meaning that what comes out at the end is nearly pure water and no stray ions. In addition to this sensitivity, corals require very narrow ranges of temperatures, amounts of light, nutrients such as calcium, pH levels, and salinities to grow. All of these need some degree of effort to maintain in an aquarium, but it's a delicate balance that has remained in equilibrium for thousands of years in the ocean until recently.